can't figure out what is wrong. I have been struggling for the last week. Like, I don't feel motivated to do anything. I would usually write scripts out for my podcast or, write down things for vlogs that I have ideas, but I have just found it so hard to really want to do anything. And I've had moments where I feel this way, and usually it's only lasts for like a day or so, and then I break out of it and I feel fine. But for some reason, like, these feelings have lasted a week, and I just know that I'm struggling mentally, and I'm trying so hard to pinpoint why I feel the way I feel. And it's been so hard because I want to do things. I want to create content. I have all these ideas that I want to do, but it's almost like I can't get myself to do it. And I've just been struggling, and I just don't know what to do. And I have just been trying to keep myself together because I just keep telling myself it's only in this moment, and I'm going to feel better at some point. But I just seriously feel like I've been stuck for forever, and I can't get myself out of it. And I just tried to record a podcast episode, and I just feel like the whole time I was struggling, and I have a script in front of me, and I just for some reason couldn't get it out. And I am so passionate about mental health and working on my mental health that I don't know if this is just burnout. I've been just pushing myself and overworking myself so much that I've just hit a point where I'm burnt out, or what. And this past weekend was Memorial Day weekend, and I just tried to relax and just have fun, and not try to think about how I've been feeling. But it's Tuesday now after the 3-day weekend, and I still just feel weird, and I feel off, and I'm trying to identify really why I feel the way I feel. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'm just I burnt myself out because I was trying to keep myself going and over push myself with the podcast and vlogging. And it was weird because when I talked to Ken about it, I was telling him how I was feeling, and he was again asked me but do you enjoy creating content, and do you enjoy doing this? And I'm I do. I enjoy creating vlogs. I have this this feeling when I do it that makes me happy. And sometimes I think I get into my own head with the comparison game of where other people are compared to where I am. And I create stuff, and I create the podcast, and I create the vlogs, and then sometimes even doing content for Instagram, it doesn't get as much reactions or stuff from other people, and I'm almost saying what I'm doing isn't good enough, or I shouldn't do it. And I know that everything is a process and it's a learning curve, but there is just sometimes that I get to the point where I'm is it worth still doing it? And to me, sometimes I have to remind myself that I enjoy doing this. I love content creating. I love creating vlogs because there is something that is a part of me that is so creative that sometimes I just don't know how to be creative or how to get it out. But I know that it lights a fire inside me that I normally wouldn't have, and it brings this part of me out that I didn't know was there. But I think sometimes too, I'm just very hard on myself, and I just let stuff overwhelm me, and I like make something mean something it probably shouldn't. And I just figured I would share it because there's probably somebody else too, or a lot of people that feel that way, where you are in such a role and then you get stuck and you hit like this plateau where you feel like you can't do it anymore, or you just don't know how to get over it. And like I said, there are times that I feel this way and I get depressed and anxious, but then it usually only lasts a day or two, and this one's lasted a week. And I remember the last time I felt this way, like I was so happy when it was over, and I was so happy to feel like myself again, because that's one of the big things too, is I just don't feel like myself. Like I feel like I'm almost looking at myself from the outside saying like, you have all these things that you want to do, you have all this creative juice, but something is holding you back. And I don't know too if that's personally like I'm scared to put myself out there, and which is silly sometimes because I put so much like raw content out there on like my Instagram posts and stuff like that like normal people wouldn't do, and I put myself out there and I do uncomfortable things because it pushes me past my comfort zone. But then again, there's sometimes that I feel like maybe I'm just holding myself back. Maybe I'm just, you know, I don't know, like maybe I'm just getting in my own head about things. And I just felt like, you know, getting out the camera right now and trying to just talk it through, because it can be so hard when you feel a certain way to just like get back into it. And this all started when I was writing my content for Instagram. I am so passionate about writing, and I love writing, and it might have been too because I stopped writing my book. I've been in the process of writing a book, and then I hit a spot where like I was stuck, and then I never went back to it. And then I started doing stuff for Instagram and trying to create stuff for Instagram. And when I do my posts, I think about it for a while, and then I get really into what I'm posting, and I feel like I write these beautiful posts. And then I got stuck, and I just couldn't get any of them written. And I just feel right now that I'm again stuck in this part of my life that like I know what I want to do and I enjoy what I do, but I almost can't get myself to do it. And I don't know if any of this is making sense, but and really I don't even know if I will post this video. It's more or less just talking out loud to myself, but that's where I'm at right now. Like I guess you could call me a content creator, and I love creating content, and I love doing vlogs, and I love doing my podcast, and I love diving into mental health, and I love connecting with people who want to share their stories with me, and I love all of this stuff. But right now I am just so stuck. And again, I don't know if I'm just in my own head or if there's something externally that's making me feel this way. I just really can't pinpoint it, and I wish I could, so I could, you know, just get over this and keep going. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm just waiting for the moment where like the spark sparks again and I feel good again about what I'm doing, and I feel joy out of it. And I'm still vlogging and doing stuff like that because there's something in the midst of vlogging that just makes me feel good, and I love like the different angles and the creating the content. So it's like I'm still creating stuff, but on the other side of that I'm still kind of struggling, and I don't know if maybe I just need to take a step back from everything and kind of like detox and then come back when I feel ready. I just don't know what I need right now. So to be honest, if I don't produce any content or any videos or any podcast episodes, it might just be a time where I'm taking a step back and I'm figuring out what I need to do for me and going forward. So again, I don't even know if I'm going to share this. It was more of just trying to sit down right now and talk about how I'm feeling and share the emotions that are coming up, because it makes me sad, because I am so creative and I have all these things that I want to do, and it makes me sad. It just makes me sad because I feel the way I feel and I can't get myself out of it. And I just want to feel like myself again, and I just want to be able to create things and not feel a certain way about them or question, what I'm doing. And sometimes that's around my podcast. I'm like, is what I'm creating and episodes I'm doing really connecting with somebody, and is it making a difference? And like, again, sometimes I just think I'm in my own head, but the feelings are there, and I just wish they weren't there. And it's so funny because the last podcast episode I put out was about waiting for praise and wanting praise from others. And sometimes I feel like that's where I'm stuck at, is I want somebody to tell me I'm doing a good job, and I'm like waiting for somebody to say that what I'm doing is helping them. And I think that's where sometimes I get stuck, because like I don't get that, and I think then that makes me think that what I'm doing is not good enough, or what I'm doing like people don't like. And like, I'm hoping that I can take a step back and get myself out of that and say, like, look, what you're doing is amazing. And even if you don't see it, there are people that enjoy your content and that enjoy consuming what you make. And you really just have to, get out of your own head and remind yourself that no matter if you see it or don't see it, like, there could be somebody that sees your stuff and it's impacting them in a way that you don't know. And sometimes I think I just need to remind myself that even if I don't see it, like, somebody's getting something out of it. Yeah.